If you're new to the channel, I recently purchased a second Tesla Model 3. This one, however, was not for me, but instead for my roommates who were not paying rent, so I bought them a Tesla in hopes that they would. However, they still didn't pay rent and they got kicked out. So now I have two Teslas, which means that I'm going with the backup plan. Instead of getting rent money, I get Turo money. Turo is like the Airbnb of cars. You just throw a car on the platform and ideally people give you money to drive it around and hopefully not crash it. So that's what I'm doing. However, before I list it on Turo, I gotta make sure this car's in perfect working order. And it almost is. It just has one tiny issue. And this was intended to be a quick segment of a broader Turo video, but to foreshadow, this repair was a nightmare. So it's a full video now. It is 4 a.m., 4:30 I think. I'm driving to Virginia because the Tesla needs a quick repair. The repair itself is quick, it just needs a driver seat sensor. My local service center is just down the road where they could do the repair. However, the appointments were months out and I did not want to wait that long, nor was I comfortable listing the car with a faulty driver seat sensor. So instead, we're gonna drive about 8 hours round trip to a different state where the service center appointments were only a couple weeks out instead of a couple months. I mean, hopefully they'll get to it quickly. I will say that the actual repair process is quite good, because I haven't actually been in this car. I took it on one trip. It did incredible on the trip, I loved it. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with the purchase. Then the car goes on Turo. I just gotta take some pictures, get it listed, and start renting it out. I've only owned this car for 5 weeks, but I've already put an additional 5,000 miles on it. My roommates put 1,500 before they left, and then I put 1,500 going on a trip to Indiana, as well as driving for Amazon Flex in it, which was the remainder of the miles. And yeah, I'm happy to say that there are very few issues. But like I mentioned, the driver's seat sensor is why I'm driving to Virginia today. Sometimes when I get in the car, it would act just kind of weird. The screen would go black for a second, it would disconnect Bluetooth, it wouldn't recognize I was there, and sometimes if I shifted into drive, it would force me back into park because it didn't think that there was anyone sitting in the seat. This told me that it was the driver's seat sensor. This is actually the second time I've gotten this replaced because it happened in my first Tesla as well. Simple thing, you just pop out the seat, swap the sensor, put it in. Unfortunately, Tesla does not sell you the sensors, so you have to have one of their technicians do it. But on the bright side, pretty much everything else with this car seems to be dandy. I've been here once before. It's actually the first place I ever got to drive a Tesla. Oh, they got a yellow fire engine. Or is that green? That's yellow. I was on an unrelated road trip and I was like, oh, I should stop by Tesla. I was always super interested in them, and so I did. And then that's when the obsession began. It was this very Tesla location. I still remember very vividly. Some girl that works there, she was like, you want a test drive? And I was like, yes. And she threw me on a Performance Model 3 and she was like, drive as fast as you can. I was like, okay. And then I was hooked from that point forward. She had me do autopilot, all sorts of stuff, so. I would film this clip later, but I need to express my raw opinion of the Tesla Model 3. I wanted to test drive a rear wheel drive, because that's what I would buy, but they had me test drive the performance model, and I never imagined what that would feel like. That's the car, I just drove that one. It's right next to me. It auto parked right next to the Subaru. I thought I was gonna hit it, but it didn't. Autopilot is, but I don't even care about the autopilot at this point because it was so fun to drive. It didn't feel like a car. It was so cool. I'm the very first guy here. But first, a quick look at my stinky old gross Model 3 next to the brand new Model 3, same color. Man, you can really tell the difference when they're next to each other. They cleaned up the front a lot, and then the back. It's been 4 hours. Car is still there. Nobody's touched it. They took a picture of it or something. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna walk to a restaurant. Almost brought the one wheel, but I was like, nah, I don't need it. I'm sure it won't take that long. I'm sure I'll be occupied with work, and I just worked for 4 hours. Oh, Quicksilver. There's a new Tesla color. Why don't they make interesting colors? They just made a different shade of gray. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Anyway, it's taking so long. There's no crossing light. There it is. It's right across. It's actually the closest restaurant is a local Mexican grill. I don't really want to eat, but I should. All I've had is a little Chick-fil-A brekkie. But yeah, people ask my like dream car a lot, or like what I'm gonna upgrade to. Like, yeah, I could upgrade to stuff, but honestly, my favorite thing about cars is driving them. I don't really care what I'm driving per se, even if I do have some preferences. And my second favorite right now is just trying to learn to make money off cars. Like, so I tried rapping a little bit. I haven't tried making money on rapping, but I'm learning rapping. Next up is renting, and then I have a couple other ideas. Okay, I kind of almost got ran over the second time. Back to Tesla we go. Is my car still sitting out there? Yes, it's still sitting out. Great. Well, the Mexican was good, but the review said it was, quote, the most authentic Mexican in Glen Allen. And so I just ordered the house special, and they give me a hard shell taco with ground beef. Very authentic, with lettuce as well. I would say the only authentic thing about the restaurant is the cheese. It was good cheese. I mean, it was all good. It's just, anyway. So back we go to just sit around, I guess. I mean, I guess I'll just do emails or something. Even though I got the first appointment of the day, everyone else that came in, they came and went before I even got my car looked at. I asked for an update every couple hours. They ended up telling me that there was nothing wrong with the car. They had run diagnoses and there was no issues. I explained the problems, they seemed unfamiliar with it, and they seemed skeptical. They were basically saying everything I was describing is just how a Tesla works, and that there's nothing they can do. He told me it was a waste of money and a waste of time to replace a perfectly functional part, but I gave them the part number and convinced them to replace it anyway. He did, however, tell me that there would be no refunds, and I was like, that's fine, I want the new driver's seat. The service center closed, and I was still there, like just by myself, with a couple technicians. I went to ask what was going on again about 30 minutes after the building closed, but that they're doing what they could, and they should be finished shortly. The seatbelt is just like chilling. They forgot to reinstall my seatbelt. I'm sure it's a common vehicle repair mistake. What's going on at Tesla service? Good, I appreciate it. I would not have been able to figure that out. So. Yeah. Have a good one. Okay, this is the moment of truth. I was arguing with Tesla service. Let's see if it's fixed. Oh my god, I was right. Wait, I was actually right. What? That's actually crazy. What the heck? What the flip? Why was I correct? Oops. Why did I know more than the guys that work in Tesla service? Their one job is to fix Teslas. I don't feel like explaining it all right now, but I'm very tired. I spent 9 hours and 45 minutes at Tesla to replace a stupid seat sensor. Apparently it took so long because he had trouble getting a bolt out of the seat, and then he forgot to put the seatbelt back. The reason this experience frustrated me so much was not the long wait time and not the long drive I had to do. What bothered me is that I suspect pretty much any other Tesla owner would not have been confident enough to fight them on replacing this part. Even if somehow someone else recognized the issue, they would have been told by the professional service technicians that no, your car's fine, it's functional, this is just how a Tesla works. That would have been disappointing if I had known someone that had a Tesla and they just keep driving it for years with a faulty sensor that makes the experience seamless and smooth. And one of the reasons a Tesla is, in my opinion, so satisfying and fun to drive. Yeah, I could still drive the car with this faulty sensor. Turo guests would still be able to enjoy this car, but it just wasn't quite all there. And I just think it's so weird that they weren't able to recognize that. I was also just kind of bummed because I used to gas up Tesla service so much. I used to have such incredible experiences. I would get the vehicle in quickly at my local center. They were super friendly. They would immediately get to my vehicle. One time they fixed an issue within like 15 minutes. It was so great. Another time where the car had to stay for longer, they not only gave me Uber credits, so I got a bunch of free Ubers to get around. However, when I came back to the vehicle, they had some extra time the second day and they detailed my entire interior. I was so surprised. Like, they vacuumed it, they washed my floor mats, they wiped down the surfaces. I got not only a very hasty, great repair at a great service center, but they cleaned my whole car for free and didn't even like ask for a thank you. It was so cool. It was such a good experience. It was just a bunch of super passionate employees who loved working on the vehicles and who did really good jobs. But now they're understaffed. There's too many Teslas. There's not enough service centers. And I just didn't have a good time. It actually sucked. Okay, I'm home. I'm exhausted. Now I'm in the Subaru because someone on Discord wants to buy my old wing. I wrapped the Subaru and I put a duckbill on instead of the OEM wing. So I'm gonna drive 30 minutes to go deliver that to him. I feel bad because he's been waiting all day thanks to Tesla. Whoa, it started. For some reason the car thinks somebody's in the passenger seat and they're not wearing their seatbelt. There's nobody in the passenger seat. Why is it beeping? What the hell? Why would that sensor wait, that's so ironic. I just got the Tesla seat sensor replaced and now the Subaru seat sensor's broken. Anyway, I can just put the buckle. All right, there we go. That's so weird though. Why did that happen? What the heck? What the flip? And the check engine light is back on. Crumbling. Her house is crumbling. So it was a 33-minute drive. I felt bad for being late, but now he's 25 minutes late, so I'm so tired. It kind of worked in my favor. This really annoying woman behind me, she wouldn't get out from behind me, had her brights on the whole way, and I couldn't get her to turn her brights off. I was like signaling, and I turned my brights on and off, and then I got behind her and just turned my brights on, and she didn't care. But it kept me awake. That's not important at all. Ugh. I forgot my energy drink, but I am at Sheet, so if I'm tired in like 20 minutes, I'll just buy another one. But I want to go to bed because I need to get up, so this will be $80. Oh, I need to check how much I listed this for. I think $80. I spent $136 on the Tesla sensor, which was broken. I was right. And then I spent about $20 in charging, so $156, and I'm making $80, so it's a net loss of a net loss of $30, I don't know. No, 40, 50? A net loss of $70? I don't know.